Welcome once more. So the journalists have converged once more to discuss the Prime Minister Ekpa Simon Njoko and to discuss the release of the soldier and then the response of the Nigerian government to the whole situation. And it is a no-brainer that anyone who is sensible enough will discover that the Zoo military has been defeated in all sense and all manner of, reasoning. They have been defeated, and whatever you think, the truth remains glaring in the eyes that for a Nigerian soldier to be captured in battle and then being released just to send a clear warning and a message, it shows that these people have been defeated. And for the fact that they are requesting the help of international community, then you know that the battle has been won already. The Biafra Defense Forces have already won them, and that is why they are seeking for international help to be able to combat this. But one very funny thing and one very interesting thing is that they denied that soldier. They denied that young soldier, a soldier who mentioned his name, who mentioned his battalion that he's coming from, who mentioned where he's serving currently. They denied him. They say he's an ex-soldier, a retired soldier. A young man like that, they say he's a retired soldier. That is to tell you how they would, ship you out immediately when they find out that you are going to become a kind of letdown to them. Once they see that you are going to bring shame and expose their atrocities, they are going to dispose of you immediately. And that is what they have done to this young man from the Yoruba extract. Immediately he was released. They said he was an ex-soldier, that he is not part of this. So what is he doing with arms in Biafra territory? So what is he doing in the midst of his fellow soldiers? So, but then let's listen to these journalists and then we'll take them on their points that they have raised. We are going to analyze their points. Let's listen to them.
One issue is a long-standing one, and I'm not sure that the call from the Nigerian army is necessarily targeted at a particular event that is coming up. I think it's probably more them, in my opinion, I think they're even playing to the gallery to an extent. I haven't particularly taken their call seriously, and for one simple reason. The Nigerian army is notorious with its human rights records, in those theaters where they have been in operations trying to combat whatever forces, they might feel that they are legitimately combating. Legitimately so. But in the process of defending the territorial integrity of your country, there are rules and conventions all over the world with regards to how you treat even enemy combatants. And the Nigerian army has not been particularly, they've not painted themselves in glory.
So you think that their notoriety in how they carry out their operations is going to, deter the international organization from listening to their calls or their...
Yeah, I think that their call will be taken with a pinch of salt. It almost seems as like a bit of sarcasm to me, everybody. So to put it in common parlance, hey, Shebi, every time you people are carrying us to ICC and carrying us to Amnesty International, now we too want to go to ICC and Amnesty International. It looks that way to me, because in my view, yes, the way the gentleman was treated was absolutely abominable and must be condemned. I think that the Nigerian army are well equipped to go in and retrieve him and do whatever they need to do while staying within the ambits of the law. So they don't have too much of my sympathy, to be honest.
We're having a double way in this story. The Nigerian army of the opinion that this man served, that the man is still in service. Now, is it that the Nigerian army don't really know the man's status?
No, I mean...
Or are we having a discrepancy now to mean his own idea?
We have to go with the official statement from the Nigerian army. Nobody will know who works for the Nigerian army more than the Nigerian army themselves. So,
82 division, something happened in 82 division some months ago, where a man, killed a woman, allegedly, though the Nigerian army were like, they are looking into that. It happened there in 82 division. The Nigerian army of the opinion that the man who did that, it's not, or was not recruited from the joint task force. And they said he's not a repentant Boko Haram member. Whereas we have a other information out there on the social media platform showing that this man was recruited from the Joint Task Force as a repentant Boko Haram member. So do you also think that we're seeing a clear notion of all the stories happening?
Well, it's. I guess we would have to take that as a separate case, and maybe that would call to question the integrity of the information that comes out of the Nigerian. And we do know, we've seen in the past that, again, they've not necessarily painted themselves in glory when it comes to even disseminating factual information about things that are going on. I remember the very unfortunate incident in 2020 where we all saw live videos. I saw live transmission, Instagram live feed, where bullets were being removed from people's legs. And then the Nigerian army came out in an official statement and said it was, what do they call it, doctored or something like that. That was a bit ridiculous. So they have a checkered history. And for me, it's the reason I'm a bit unsympathetic towards whatever they're saying now. I think the guy that is being maltreated by IPOB, if that is the case, should be rescued, and they should deal with them with the full force of the law and the might that they have, the might of the state, and that's not about that. Why are they going to the ICC?
Okay.
I don't understand that at all.
Thanks very much. Let me stay with you on this issue. You said something about this case not being isolated. I think it has a broader perspective.
Absolutely.
So in the sense that it should have a broader perspective, do you think that it's some kind of selective justice on the part of the Nigerian army, to take the case of IPOB to the ICC and Amnesty International, the same Amnesty International that has several times called out the Nigerian army against inhuman treatments to civilians. And again, for the fact that the Nigerian army have not been able to take this same case of Boko Haram bandits and terrorists to the ICC. You recall what happened when Jonathan tried headlong, to decimate the terrorists. And it was like, oh, we are going to ICC because in here, Jurika, you are chief of army staff. You people are killing my people and all of that. So do you think it amounts to selective justice on the part of the Nigerian army to do one thing in this case and do another in another case in the same jurisdiction?
Absolutely. I mean, I think that's part of the reason that I'm skeptical towards their call, because it's one. I mean, look, that's one single individual. One individual that is maltreated by any unlawful means or whatever is too much. You don't have to get to 2 or 3. So we have to condemn that. But my goodness, I mean, the kidnappings that are happening every day in this country, people taking ransom and then still killing victims. Where was the Nigerian army and where was their petition to the ICC? When all of these things were happening. For me, honestly, it's ridiculous. I think that sometimes these government officials really do need a bit of reorientation. They have to take citizens a bit more seriously than they do.
Does it speak to the complicity or lack of intentionality on the part of the government in fighting insecurity? Do you think should we think in that direction?
Well, I mean, look, that's a bigger problem. That's a big problem that we are grappling with, and we need answers to. Why are the bandits? Why do they seem so powerful?
So so this is exactly what we're talking about: selective justice. These journalists are even tired of defending the Nigerian army because they have seen on countless occasions how these people have been, behaving outside the ambits of the law, and so they are even scared of defending the Nigerian military and their actions. Now, you have seen that what they are doing is a case of selective justice. A simple case of selective justice. They choose who to support and who not to support. They choose who to, call the international community on and who not to call the international community on. And that is how they protected Abakari, somebody who was needed in America to come and answer questions on drug trafficking. But then they protected him and, denied America that extradition right of Abakari. So you discover that these people are, doing everything possible to put you down as a Biafran. And then you see somebody who is fighting tirelessly to ensure that you are respected, you are not looked down on, and somebody will be deceiving you with trisomy 21, does that person even know and understand what is trisomy 21? Somebody will come and be deceiving you that he needs to know where Simon Ekpa comes from, who is his father, who is his this, who is his that. Why do you have that? Why do you need those information when you can see him live? You know where he stays, you know where he resides. So what do you need his parents for? You want to look for avenue to shut them up. So these are the issues. These are the issues. Now, the person who talked about all these things is the wife of Nnamdi Kanu. She has come out to rant again because they gave her opportunity to come and rant again. All these DOS people, they are using her as they like. So the issue remains that we shall also bring up her interview and for the Biafrans to listen to the crap and the nonsense that she was talking. But then, the Zulu government have, try to reach out to international communities to help them. But then, help will never come because they are the oppressors and we shall chase them away from our land. Thank you. Odo Dirono.